So there are rates of marijuana use by teens that have been of great interest to research over the past decade, according to NIDA. And I just wanted to start off by asking how many of you have done your own research or know the effects of marijuana. If your answer to either of these is yes, then you probably have a motive behind knowing information about this subject, and if you don't, then there are many reasons why you may not care for it, such as how it may be harmful, as well as short or long-term effects that it could potentially have on you. So today I'm going to be talking about the legalization of recreational marijuana in places that it isn't yet legal and why you may benefit from this. The legalization of recreational marijuana can provide things like basic medical advantages, positive effects on neighborhood crime, and the potential of economic values as well. So the main issue I find with this subject is that people jump to conclusions of why marijuana isn't right, and that's simply because it is illegal in a lot of places. But for those of you who don't know about marijuana much, THC is something that stimulates your brain to release an amount of dopamine. This is what the feel-good chemical is known for, and that's what gives you like the enjoyable high pretty much. So with this, although there's no data to show that about 10% of people who use cannabis can be addicted, but most people who use this drug occasionally will suffer from harmful effects. Even more than not suffering from harmful effects, according to the Regional Science and Urban Economics, an additional dispensary in a neighborhood leads to a reduction of 17 crimes per month per 10,000 residents. So this corresponds roughly to a 19% decline that's relative to the average crime rate over the sample period. And this is from a researcher named Brinkman. Other than that, there has also been a study by the Institute of Medicine, and it came to the conclusion that cannabis is actually less likely to become dependent, such as just like other drugs, and it's not a gateway drug either. For those of you who do live in a state where recreational marijuana is legal, for those of you who live in a state where recreational marijuana, let alone medical marijuana, is illegal, you probably don't have the option to receive the benefits that it provides for you. But with all the various forms of cannabis that are found, there's a handful of health benefits that users could have from this. So an overview of these benefits that cannabis can have is something like relieving chronic pain, improving your lung capacity, regulating and preventing diabetes, helping fight cancer, assisting in treating different types of depression and anxiety, also regulate seizures, help with ADD, and also symptoms from PTSD, as well as alcoholism. So there's those handful of things, as well as a lot more that it can actually be beneficial to. According to the Medical Cannabis Network, depression is fairly widespread without most people even knowing that they have it, so that could be something that you aren't aware of, but the endocannabinoid compounds in cannabis actually do help stabilize moods, which can ease depression. As well as this effect, along with a lot of others, people with anxiety who use it have reported their benefits to researchers as things such as increased sense of calmness, improved relaxation, and also relief of social anxiety. So between depression and anxiety, there are those few things that it can help with your mood changes and being around people pretty much. And although this is not a full cure, if you aren't using it in any sort of high dosages or harmful dosages, it can be a safer alternative to a lot of health solutions or health issues and provide relief for a lot more things than you actually think. Another thing is told by Investopedia, the economic benefits of legalizing marijuana have been apparent in states that change their legal position. So if you live in a state where medical or recreational marijuana is legal, you might know of these benefits. But some of these things include impact on tax revenue, income, and jobs, and also investment opportunities. So when it comes to tax money, it helps fund a lot of different resources for society. And a quote from Krishna says that, better than expected, sales of marijuana in Colorado and Washington over the past several years have resulted in buoyant tax revenues. In 2019, Colorado collected more than $302 million in taxes and fees on medical and recreational marijuana. And overall, the sales in this totaled of over $1.7 billion. Another economic benefit that this can have is a statistic from Investopedia. It declares that pretty much economic and marijuana policy group say that the legalization of recreational marijuana in states support over 41,000 jobs. This was a group done from Nevada, but those 41,000 jobs would be something that lasted until 2024 and also generate over 1.7 billion in labor income. So that just kind of gives you a reference of the money that it can generate for jobs and support in your state, pretty much. And then these statistics, I think, alone give a lot more in-depth overview of the economic benefits that I wasn't even aware of before doing all this research, and I'm sure a lot of you weren't either. Overall, in conclusion, the extent of the benefits that would come from legalizing both recreational and medicinal marijuana in places that it isn't already are shown in all of these facts I've given you to outweigh the risks that are provided by it. Just like any other thing, there's always risks to be taken, but it's important to understand how it can assist not only your health issues, but also crime rates and increased economic benefits. So the use of marijuana, I believe, can generate a lot of success for issues within our society, our government, and also our everyday lives.